Hi, everybody. Sorry for the slight delay this morning. I wanted to make sure at least I looked human on camera for everybody today. I am live streaming tired, but thank you for all being here. Uh, I know that many of you have asked me, did I tire out on Foodie Beauty? Am I done with Foodie Beauty? What's going on with my channel and Foodie Beauty? Because I have been putting out so much content on this other gentleman called Tim, and I know I'm getting under his skin, and I've had a lot of fun, but I'm tired. And Tim has already put out a morning chat, so I know that he and Foodie are almost competing. So my plan actually next week, and I'm feeling tired, but I feel that it's really, I've been watching the channelytics and I've been learning about this pump and dump content and how it's even benefited my channel. And obviously, it's interesting. So I'm going to be doing all sorts of different things. But next week, starting Monday, exhausted as I will be going through the same challenge with our friend Foodie Booty and just seeing what happens. Now, it could be that she ends up disappearing. I have no idea. So I know the thing with hers is her live streams and stuff get so long. And so for me to fully react to those, I'm like, God, who wants to see this like 3-hour content? So I might plan it that the videos that she actually does, I'll react to. And some of those are going to be member-only exclusives first, because I do like to make sure that those who are supporting the channel, that I try to fulfill. I'm thinking that, trying to see which time we did that members only live, because I do need to get a members only live out. I'm thinking that we'll do not a retro react, but we'll look at the recent kind of rage that she had against other channels, and just the jealousy and the envy. Let me make sure I'm getting good Wi-Fi. Gosh, how are my neighbors not out? It's a beautiful day in Virginia Beach. I should be the only person on Wi-Fi today. I know. I sang hi to everybody in the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the party going. I know I could do a clips channel. I could. Well, yeah, that's a plan. I mean, I haven't survived Tim yet, Claudette. I still have 2 days to go. So I still have today and tomorrow. And my plan is to then probably do a live stream on Monday morning around the Tim, and there's different content I have a lot planned. And obviously I'm in the midst of trying to start a new job. They have paperwork. I've barely been able to get to that. The college is, very expensive, and I'm trying to get them to negotiate the tuition costs with me, and just trying to get financial aid to understand that, I've been chronically ill and out of work, and, needing to make sure that they give me actual enough money through financial aid to live on, because I've already secured Sally Mae loans and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's just been doing. Everything. Yeah, how have you been doing, everybody else? How's everyone else? Hey, Brooke. Hey, Bella. Hey, Rosebud. How all the mods are here. Hey, Sir Austin. How's it going? Come on in. Come on in, Pam. Hey, Kathy. Oh, my gosh. Chicken Me Elmo's here. I'm glad to see everybody here, and everybody who's not here. Hey, Dan. Dan came on in. Hey, hell no. Hey. I just want to make sure that if I haven't said your name, I am. Hey, Padma. Hey, Rose. Oh, I've been watching your stuff, Rose. Oh, she is on a roll. This rebrand has me. I don't know what is going on, to be honest. I have been watching Chantel for a lot longer than I realized. And so kind of, she's very immature, and she's just lashing out because stuff isn't going her way, and she's no other way to express it other than through a great deal of anger. And I don't know who she thinks she's actually hurting or who she's actually affecting by having this amount of animosity towards her own self, because it's so hateful. Oh, Pam! Oh, come on in. You know what? There's only one thing that I can say to that, because I'm fully on.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have this dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is. No,
yeah. And I just dry beg for members. So thank you. I'm glad that I could dry beg that one. Especially with the cost of grad school, Lord of my life. So yeah, I'm just after watching these guys, I've just learned to become a full-on dry beggar. And I do need to update my my membership things, because Blind Views joined my team, and I'm so excited because it inspires me to keep going, because I have a lot of hard classes coming up in July. So I'm just trying to get everything done. But I have learned by doing as many videos a day. I have one day where I pumped out like 6 of them or something. I don't remember. It was a lot. It has helped grow my channel, and it has helped increase my views, which means that I've obviously made more money, which has been great, because obviously I've been extendedly out of work. And then I found out I was back on antibiotics last week. My nose got bad again, just to give you a heads up, and then we'll get into this video. My nose got bad again. And so I'm back on the clindamycin. I'm back on the Bactrim. I'm probably back on them. I've said I'm too scared to come off of these things at this time. So, and I've got just, so it's like, but I'm like, you know what? I'm obviously not a beauty channel. So like Foodie Beauty over here. So I'm just going to come out like this. But Pam, I appreciate that support. Come on in. All right. All righty. So let me get over to this video. Yes, thank you. Gosh, I hope so too. My doctors were shocked to see me back. They really were. And I was not happy to be back, because I was just starting to try to at least work part-time, and I'm trying to negotiate with the college to understand that I do need I look great. Well, thank you, Jane. I've got to go on this side more like this. I'm trying to let the college understand that I need to get a stipend. That's why I've applied for such a substantial amount of loans from Sallie Mae, that they can't, leave me barren of money. And it's a real negotiation. It's hard to get them to release it. So I'm just trying to get them to reduce the tuition costs to something more reasonable, because I'm a good grade point average student and stuff. Oh, thank you for saying I'm a trooper. Thank you. All right. Well, let me try to troop this along. And I have to say that buy me a coffee has been pretty nice too. I can see why Tim does it, because they don't take as much of a cut. Oh my God, I've been learning all sorts of stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, if you do like this type of content, just hit the likes actually and subscribe, because that's actually very helpful for the channel too. All right. I'm hoping nobody's getting as bad of signal as I seem to be. So let me, if I start to lag, hey Padma, come on in. If I start to lag, let me know. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. I keep moving it around. Okay, let's get over to Foodie and the rebrand. That's extremely, I mean, come on, it's concerning. What can I say? I mean, if this is not a cry for help, I really don't know what would be a cry for help. So she has come out, as I'm sure most everybody has seen, and I know I saw Rose's reaction, Rose Thorn Reacts. If you haven't seen her channel, I suggest you go check her out, because I love her perspective, because that's one thing that, I don't have a lot of time currently, because I'm in the Timiverse too, in creating, but there are certain reactors who I do enjoy, and I do enjoy Rose's perspective, just because she is somebody who has dealt with the aspects of addiction in food that Foodie has dealt with. And I think that comes from a really important place to have an understanding from those who've dealt with it and then understanding it from a clinical perspective. And obviously, I'm not treating or diagnosing anybody here. I am only speculating aspects of Chantel. Obviously, I could still discuss all of her diabetes type 2 and obviously all her medical conditions due to my background as a registered nurse. But I am starting to focus, and I finally saw my degree plan yesterday, everybody. So I was excited. The classes aren't registered yet. They're supposed to be July 3rd, which is why I'm in the negotiation for tuition at the moment. Because I have a really good grade point average. Oh, Anastasia, thank you. You know what? Everyone gets it.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
And I dry beg every member I get. Hey, at least I live my truth over here. Well, thank you, Anastasia. We certainly hope you have fun with the membership. And I have some fun things planned because, like I said, I'm starting I finally saw it. I finally saw my degree plan. Oh, you're so welcome. No, yeah, I got to dry beg the heck out of this stuff. Yeah, the mental health is so huge at the moment. And we've been saying for a long time, until she addresses this up here, all of the things that she talks about and wanting to improve her medical health, she's not going to accomplish the way she hopes. So she's already sort of said, oh, I just throwing up the towel, I'm like, that's it. I'm done, and it's just like, oh, thank you, Bougie. I hope, me too, because I just want to get to my classes and be able to work part-time because it's very difficult to expect to study as many hours as I am a week on 10 credit hours at grad school. I have advanced pharmacology. Yeah, pharmacist. And I have advanced physical assessment because as we've always say here, and being able to assess, oh, Miss Polly up above. Thank you. Well, you know what? It has to come out every time. I might have to shorten this one, but
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
I know. I might have. Oh, shoot. It's funny. Come on. Thanks to Tim. Tim has added to that for me. So thank you. And I'm giggling because I love growing this community and hoping that with the members' lives and stuff that I have planned, we're going to do some fun things and speculating things only about her mental health, obviously. But I also have all these like neuro classes and classes for the advanced pharmacology for psychiatric medications and all this neuroscience coming up. And so it's fascinating. And I'm hoping I can obviously use some of that education that I'm getting and kind of applying it with what we're seeing with Foodie, only speculatively though, because obviously I've never done a physical assessment. She's not my patient. I'm not treating her, but there's a lot going on with this. And I'm concerned. Pam says, I'm convinced we're going to see Foodie Booty back in Canada very soon. The suitcase. Yeah, there's a visa office in the tower. Yeah, I wondered too, like, there's a specific Salar's not there doing like business because he got a meeting, he's doing business like because he's seeing somebody specifically for an appointment for something. It didn't shock me that there's visa offices in there because remember we talked about the fact that she might have seen those HR immigration folks in Canada. So I still am convinced that the plan is to try to get Salar to Canada. I've always said that as much as she wants to deny it. And, I think at the end of the day, especially with all the changes that are happening, I think Salar wants to be in a different country. I think he wants to experience living in Canada. That's just my fault. I don't know the man, but I wouldn't be surprised, though. I don't think it's going to be as easy. Don't learn from Tim. Oh, yeah. Well, I would have to find, I'd have to get much more out of the parasocial with you guys, and start showing up your houses and parking my RV in your driveways, going to dinner, bossing you around as I get you filming me golf. Oh, Dan gifted a membership. Oh my gosh. You guys are being awesome today. I need to disappear away. This feels like Foodie today, but you know what?
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best drive Megan. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Well, and I can't wait to find out who was gifted this very generous gift from Dan today. So thank you so much, Dan. Oh, Deb got it. Oh, I'm so happy you got that, Deb. Oh, that wonderful. Welcome to the club. Enjoy your emojis. Let's make sure, actually, you know what? For all of you who became new members or members currently, throw the emojis of like thumbs up and flowers and whatever you want in here. Hey, Sam, come on in. So, yeah. Abraham says, correct. She has to travel soon. Yeah, she's out of here. Okay, let's bring up this rebrand. My goodness, girl. So as we see, let me make me small. Let me make it smaller in the Kuwait. We might be having to change this background very soon. We might be. All right, I'm gonna be small. Okay. Food is life. This is like sticking. I mean, yes, this is where I think addictions around food are very difficult and very difficult to treat and manage. In my just thought here, due to the fact that we need to eat to survive. So sort of, it's almost like they've got the automatic, well, I need to eat to live. So it's not like with other types of addictions. You don't need to gamble to live. You don't need to drink alcohol to live. It's actually quite the opposite. You don't need to obviously do street drugs to live. It's quite the opposite. So, spend money, go excessively shopping. When I think about all the different addictive things and addictive parts of personalities, and then it makes me wonder, does she go into the obsessive compulsive range then? Because that kind of ties in there. It's difficult to assess. Yes, she can't just quit eating, Jamie. Yeah, she can't. Hey, Bella. Yay. I'm going to need your help with my pharmacology. At least tips on remembering it all. Yeah, she's cured her mind. Yes. Cured her mind. And, she had the one, session with that therapist. So that's all she needs, because this screams to me normal behavior for a 40-year-old. Okay. Now I'm going to let you know, I started just as a matter of just, sheer honesty. I started to film one of my Tim videos yesterday. I had a lot going on in my mind just from stuff, I'm trying to get back to grad school. This is, I've not been well. This infection is taking longer than I'm thinking it's going to take to heal. I'm probably going to have to go on another round of antibiotics. I'm tired of being on antibiotics. Yesterday it really hurt. It's just like, oh. And my doctor said I've even been remarkably cheerful throughout it all. And I obviously had this challenge. I just, I've enjoyed the challenge, all this stuff. And so it's just, I just can see, like, you couldn't have, I started to film this video and my emotion was coming into, I actually started crying because the golf was boring me. So I just started thinking about my own stuff. I started to cry a little bit. So I actually had to stop the video. I had to kind of pull myself back together, kind of get the dog out, just kind of clear my mind. And then I went back and restarted the video. And actually the video came out pretty good. And so people were like, oh, you're on point. But it would have been a sad fish almost, if you may, and not even appropriate for the type of channel. And I hate even talking about myself, but sometimes I feel I should, in regards to the fact that I do make commentary about other people and how they manage their life. And so I don't want anyone to think that I think that I'm perfect or better or have something more than these folks have, because we all have our foibles. I find, obviously, Foodie problematic. because she's here demonstrating her lack of control, her immaturity, her disregard for other people, her disregard for people's concerns to her by doing this. This is awful. It's really bad. It's a cry for help. And I'm glad she trigger warned. Her whole page needs a trigger warning at this point. Fatma, I am so glad you became a member. I'm excited. This community is growing. And we got the poor kidneys, the sad I mean, we need sad pancreases and computers and everything today. Thank you so much. And we just have.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
I hate calling myself a dry beggar, but I also find it funny. So terrible. Yes, the buy me a coffee is actually great because they don't take any money really from the creator. So when you buy the coffee, that's why Tim loves it. I got some nice coffees. Tim's been even getting hate coffee. Anyway, check out my Tim videos. There's like 1 million of them. I've done 20 already this week. So yeah, this is concerning. This is like, so we even said at this community, we predicted not even a week ago barely, that she would be back on the mukbangs. And I've been watching her, and I think I did one exclusive member video on one of her mukbangs, and it's just been the same. In fact, I think she's losing it even more, which makes me think that she's got more concerns that are occupying her mind. She doesn't know how to manage it, and she's lashing out at everybody. Reaction channels, obviously, the way she spoke about the YouTube Underground and all of these other channels, that she's obviously, envious and, coveting their channel because she's sitting there with 100,000 subscribers. A lot of these channels have almost half her channel subscriber count, but their communities are so much more engaged with their content. So and she's so upset that they're making a living off of her. And it's just, that's YouTube. You put yourself on YouTube. It's one of those things. Even reaction channels get reactors reacting to reaction channels, It's just, if you are going to be in social media, it's sort of, you've got to be careful if it brings out more of your narcissistic personality traits, because and very ego driven, the way that Foodie is, or you try to, hold it back a little bit. You got to get back to work. I hope you can give me some tricks for studying all this advanced pharmacology. I obviously know my drug groups, but it's best places to study it. Like what's a really good resource? That's what I would love to know, Bella. I'm so excited about your new job. You have to let us know how that's going. Thank you for your moderation. Do you have to leave us? Yeah, she got work to do. Can't keep our medical folks in their jobs. I just hope catch us on the replay, Bella. Let us know what you think of all of this. Fatma says, Life and Vibe, Mr. Snowflake drops in a new. Oh, tomorrow? Oh, went off on it. Yes, I heard. That's what Rose Thorne said. Her beezer went off. Oh, she's put out another mukbang? Oh my gosh, we have a new mukbang to look at? Oh shoot, we'll just go over to that one. Oh my gosh, you can't wait. She uses social media because she would have probably. Oh, it was glorious. I saw your reaction, Rose. If you want to see the reaction to all that Twitter or all that community board nonsense, we'll just take a look at Rose's video because she did a good job of breaking that down. I feel like we should all come at Foodie at a different angle. Desert Rose, yes, and it seems that Desert Rose was somebody who worked in the medical field and was kind of being supportive of her. And I just kind of can see, and having seen her content for many years, that she doesn't want any help. She seriously wanted help. she would have stayed in Canada. Hey, Goose Chuck, come on in, girl. She really thinks she is singled out with reaction channels. She's tried being an actor, athlete. Right. Oh, or even in working in the healthcare field. My God. Wait till you have a family that doesn't like you as their nurse. I've had, some, if you don't have the right type of personality that, people either engage with you or you're just kind of a little bit standoffish that people don't really kind of like come in at you. You get it wherever you are in life, and obviously she's just put herself out here on a bigger platform and she puts out really problematic content and she talks really badly about reaction channels, I think, in a way that is not appropriate. I think it's, but it also increases engagement with her channel. So I think it's like, but then she's helped you guys out at the end of the day. So it's like, oh, it's frustrating. But she doesn't understand I don't know if she genuinely understands when she is talking so angrily and so negatively about reaction channels. And a lot of people that are familiar with YouTube and kind of how YouTube works as a platform understands that reaction channels come along with the other content. Like that's just kind of what has kind of been the joy of YouTube, is that we get a chance to come in and you've got a chest infection. Oh no, Sam. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. There you go. Oh, Sam, well, I'm going to wish you better. Oh, she hasn't referred to herself as a public figure? Yes, she's famous, and she can't get around Cornwall due to her fame. Pony Up says, I think she could work as a voice actor. Oh, okay. Well, that would be a good something that she could potentially do. I mean, that's a good suggestion, actually, Pony Upify. There we go. Goose Chuck says, she has such a delicate constitution, guys. She's a tainty. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're all basement dwelling, losers over here. I've got to, take my dog through the trails later on. I've got a new selfie stick anyway. Yeah, she's the star of Girl World. I know. And that was kind of the reason why, too. And I didn't want to freak out my own very loyal audience that I was escaping from Foodie's nonsense. Is that I wanted to kind of show to her that we don't need you necessarily to do well, as reaction channels. Reaction channels aren't about just one character, reaction channels often enjoy having lots of other people to react to in order to, make the content interesting. We're going to react to all sorts of things. It's not just, now some have ones that they found they enjoy reacting to. The audience enjoys watching their reaction. And so they do that. And occasionally they may react to something else, but that might be what they enjoy and their audience enjoys the most. And I know that other people, Rose has been doing other people. I have all sorts of people. I need to get back to Glitters. My Glitters content is enjoyed by a lot of folk. She's got just all sorts of stuff going on. All sorts of stuff. She says all stars fade out after a while and die. They don't shine forever. Oh, well, that's true. But some do stick around. Okay, so quickly over to her community post, and we'll take a look at this new mukbang. All right. So I don't know what's been going on. She looks like she's been editing out. Look. So all of those odd community posts that she has put out, she's, removed, obviously dirty deleted, as we call it in this game. A new weigh-in came in 11 days ago. I know she put some long explanation about what her content was going to be. And if you didn't screenshot it early enough or react to it, which Rose did get that, then it was going to be dirty deleted for sure, which it has been. So she's, okay, well, then if you need privacy about ending your stream abruptly, Chantel, then don't talk about it here, because that says, no, I don't really want privacy. I want you to ask me questions about it so I can get angry that you're asking questions about it. You know, there could have been a way that you could have potentially ended that without making a show if it was really that important to be private. So that says to me that no, you want people asking you about this. So you don't want people to know what it is, but you want to get whatever audience reaction to, get people talking, I should say. So I'm sure it was probably Pete's or something very uninteresting. But she's got to do something to help this dying channel. Her channel is not, even though I was surprised her subscriber count grew. Okay. Now she's got, oh, she did put it on here. Okay, sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry. I didn't see it drop down. It's still here. It's still here. Oh, Mrs. Muerta, thank you. Oh, yes. Mrs. Muerta says, I appreciate the super chat. She does this for attention, views, $4 day Visa run. She has got to get that Visa run going, Mrs. Muerta. We know she's getting close. And she bought all that stuff. It's just like to put people off the trail, I think. Hey, Tiny Girl, come on in. I was just saying got all my classes on my degree plan. My graduation, I think, is at least the end of my last clinical is July 22nd, 2025. So I'm so close to graduating. My classes look real interesting. I was excited. Anyway, attention seeking also symptom of addiction and other mental health issues. Absolutely. And this is attention seeking at its finest. Okay, this is attention seeking at its finest, in my just layman's opinion at the moment, and speculating. Just if you look at the language, let's see in here. Rose says, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate the congratulations, Tooties. I've got just a year left to go till I become a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner." Though I may be working more with like PTSD because of the area I live in. We have a lot of veterans, and so that might be potentially an area, though I do consider addiction and depressions too. It's also in my area, but we have so many veterans. I've kind of considered, maybe working with veterans. Oh, Sam. Oh, well, I hope you just feel better, Sam. Thank you for that super chat towards my coffee and study fund. I appreciate it. Grad school does not really leave you with but a limited time to work. And obviously, I'm loving the work of my channel, but obviously I'm getting, if I can heal my nose and not be a threat to my patient's safety, then I'm back out working part-time as a private duty RN, but caring for complex patients. So it could be either children or adults with complex care needs in the home. So maybe they're having to get lines taken care of, certain things that can only be performed by a registered nurse. So I'm in the process of that application at the moment with an agency here in town. But I appreciate it because I love this. I know my sub started growing again after everyone put out she stopped growing after. Yes, I'm wondering she bought subs. Oh, Pam says, I see as nurse practice. Oh, I don't need active treatment. It's wonderful. Yay. I know. I am so close to being done. I really am. I've got just over a year. That's nothing in grad school considering. And then obviously I take my licensure exam, but you usually do that quite soon after your studies. You don't push it out. You maybe give yourself a month, just a hardcore study. And I mean 12 hours a day on the books for the entire month. That's just the way it goes. You barely, you're eating off of paper plates, and to take that licensure exam. So yeah, this is attention seeking at its finest. Look at this. And I know a lot of people have already talked about this, but this is what she said. And this is everything that we see when we look at you, Chantel. You don't even need to speak about it because we see it. We see these things. So she said, I did a lot of thinking. I decided that I'm going to keep my personal content offline for good. I just don't feel comfortable anymore sharing anything related to my weight. Oh, sorry, my health, my weight, my marriage, my plans, family. Basically anything personal. And this is the part that is extremely unhealthy in my sort of speculation, for her to kind of take care of any of her health, weight, plans, family, anything, is the fact that she will only do food related content now, which is what we're going to get, which is just like watching somebody try to unalive themselves on a platform, which is why it's been kind of hard to deal with Chantel this week. Because she is actively abusing herself in front of everybody and trying to monetize it. And that's really hard to watch. It's almost like watching a active, it's I find it very uncomfortable. And obviously I work with patients like this. I understand. I still find it very uncomfortable to watch and see people who are in the depths of really bad drug addiction, and the harm that they put themselves through, and the way they're prepared to live. It's just, I'm very empathetic. I'm a huge empath type person. And so for me, it is super hard to want to watch people damage themselves. And that's what I feel like Chantel is so mad at all of us, that she wants us now to just see her damage herself in public. Even though that sounds really morbid, it's kind of what I feel like is her anger towards everybody is now just coming out like this. Oh, Kathy Brown, come on in. Come on in. I'm so glad you joined. I'm just one of these.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. We know what that is. It's dry bagging, because I want everyone to be a member of my community, obviously, because I love it growing and talking about these topics with people who enjoy talking about these topics with me. Funny Girl says she's committing active suicide for money. It's really hard to watch, isn't it, Funny Girl? Funny Girl and I, if you've not known, we've paneled together. She actually has her own channel, so please go check that out. I'm sure one of my mods will pop a link in to Funny Girl's channel, Rose Thorn Reacts. If you could pop links in, Goose Chuck's channel, just pop those links in for me, please. Because I want people to be able to support channels that are kind of looking at these things and have different opinions. Goose Chuck is from Canada. She understands Canada and how kind of it rolls with the people there. And that's always interesting to watch, because these Canadians, you guys will go off at each other, man. Everyone thinks everyone in Canada is so nice. So to see Canadians go off at each other is such the antithesis of how we all perceive Canadians. So it's pretty funny. And then obviously Rose Thorn and has her own experience with food addictions. And so there's so many different great people to see. But yeah, this is bad. It's kind of like Eugenia Cooney in the other direction. Mrs. Morta says, life and vibe in all seriousness, Ray, in your medical opinion, when Sugarfoot coming off. Oh my goodness. I don't know, because she was getting angry about that the other day. I mean, if she eats like this, it's not going to be long before she is going to start to cause major vascular damage. I mean, she already is. And that's one of the things is that I was hearing, is that diabetes isn't a disease of blood sugar. It's a disease of the vascular system. So I was hearing this on the doctor's radio, and that's kind of how we have to think of how it affects your vascular system through the retinopathy, the neuropathy, all of the damage it does to the vascular system. So in reality, and the heart, it does huge heart damage as well. Absolutely enormous. So it is a disease. And she is saying, if she is in belief that the maximum dose of Janumet is going to be able to assist her through her weight, her diabetes, or this food that she's eating, she's sorely mistaken. Sorely mistaken. And she knows that. She's been told 1,000 times. She just is choosing, because she's very angry, because she's probably in a place where she's maybe finding it difficult for Salah to come to Canada. She doesn't have a background to bring him into Canada. She's not, she's not got a good, she's got bankruptcies. I mean, she doesn't have her together in Canada to be able to really bring him in well. And so now, and she needs to bring him in because she needs to keep sticking it to everybody's face. She's got this husband, anything. She says she's going to do mukbangs, either takeout or what I cook, or going to trying food places around here. If that's not your cup of tea, feel free to watch a channel that has content you enjoy. When we travel in cooler months, maybe November, we will see. We will do. So I'm guessing this means she burned the couples channel down. I thought the season 3 was going to be lit. We will do travel content, but until then, I'm staying in Kuwait and we'll only do food videos. How is she staying in Kuwait? We know she has to have. This is what Foodie. And she does this to play with her audience and to irritate reaction channels because everybody knows she's not a Kuwait resident. So anything about her talking about being somewhere to November is absolute hogwash. It's crap. Sorry. That's a medical term. Anyway, she says, I no longer feel like sharing a single personal thing about my life online. I do this to protect my peace and privacy. Thanks, Cece. Yeah, well, you'll be rage streaming in about 2 days. Oh, my goodness. She's going to be popping out. She can't afford to support him. Yeah, I know. The only thing that lit up season 3 is the toilet. Oh, my goodness. Or that camel spitting in her eye. November's the last visa run for this year. Right. So what is she going to be doing? Just doing little border hops that she doesn't tell anybody about? Is that the plan? Is that her plan with all the changes? Hey, Pat, come on in. Nightbot thinks somebody's trying to share a link when there is a directly between the words without spaces. That's why it deleted the message. Picky. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll have to try to look at that. Just be careful then, guys, okay, about using, speech marks. I'll have to check what it says about speech marks in its little thing. Yeah, sorry about that. Mrs. Martin says her blood sugar monitor. Oh, well, how dare we tell her she doesn't actually know how to use a glucometer. And if you didn't get a chance to check out my video about how to actually use the glucometer, it was a comedy classic. All right. Well, Chantel, you may not want to discuss these things, but it's clear to see in your actions and your body language and your physically assessing you what is going on. The marriage, we don't know because the ring comes off and on. And we all know that it's been very difficult. Oh, great. Look at this. We got a Wendy's. Wendy's Dave, single spicy nuggets and chili cheese. Oh, goodness, guys. I think we're going to have to do the Wendy's. We're going to do Wendy's. I'm going to have to change my thumbnail. All right, guys. She's just going full on just into, I know there's discussion about whether she has a certain, I don't know if she's going to get more or less views. I mean, it seems like people are preferring her taking out her pancreas. Drop sad pancreas in the chats now, please. And poor kidneys, please, too. I need sad pancreases and poor kidneys in the chat. For all this going on, for all of you who are members, drop those in the chat for me, because I still need to get together with Eloise, the pharmacist, and talk about the kidney medications that she's going to see. Yeah, we need them in the chat because this is what's happening. My goodness. Those of you who need to protect your mental health because of obviously her triggering for food addictions or anything, I would suggest you click away because Chantel don't care. She did go out with a trigger warning yesterday. But we're going to switch this thumbnail over. That trigger warning is still, that was so angry. I don't know if she's going to put it in today. We'll see. But just that alone, it's like, wow. Can you tell us that you don't like yourself by telling us you don't like yourself? I just feel that she is so unhappy. but she wants us all to be there with her unhappiness. And that's why we're getting so much mukbang content, because Chantel is very unhappy. Isn't she embarrassed to do this? No, she wants us to be in her misery with her. That's very interesting when people want you to share in their misery. That's like when you get this, I have actually seen, and I don't, this is just a warning. I have seen somebody unalive themselves, and it was a horrific experience. And I saw it, a person throw themselves in front of a train in London. And I'm not even joking. And it is really a horrible thing to see somebody take their life. And I was just stood in the train station in the underground in London. And this gentleman, it was bad. It was bad. I don't want to go into details. I don't want to stress people out. But it is, there are times when, and I learned this when I spoke to the Good Samaritans in the UK, because I was very upset after the experience, that I wanted to see my, what was going on. Could I have said something? Could I have done something differently? What could I have done to stop this person from unaliving themselves in such a, because I could tell that something was going to go on. And they literally said, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes the people choose to do it very publicly. And so she is publicly doing things that she knows are going to damage her health. She knows this. And I think she knows, I almost wonder, is her health so bad that she now is kind of like, I want to then, I just don't care anymore. It's just hell's to the wall now, because my health has got to a point, my health is so bad that I don't care that my health bad, because this is obviously not going to remedy anything that's happening with her health-wise. Kathy says she's no shame about anything. Yeah, she's vile. It's pretty bad. I saw a man do the same thing in front of one of our trains. It's horrific. Yes, you never can shake that off, Pam. Mine happened, gosh, in the 90s, the early, 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I saw this happen. And and I feel like I could still picture it in my mind today. It's strange. Lots of people secretly eat, but to self-harm so publicly is some kind of mental disorder. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is very disturbing. It's really reached a level of disturbance that's beyond just her rage, It's so bad. She posted a Wendy's mukbang. Yeah. Good grief. Yeah. And that's what we're going to take a look at, JC, is this. This is why I'm just looking at this. I'm horrified. Chantel says she has BD, but usually people who have BD, right? She's public with it. Feels like food addict not having BD. Correct. That's why it would be so important for her to get a full mental health assessment for her food addictions, rather her just saying I have BED, because there's very distinct things, and this is coming, I think, from a very different pathology. Apart from the addiction and potentially other things that go along with that, it's the public self-harm that's got, like, why is she needing to involve everybody? Because this is somebody is crying out for help in some ways, but doesn't want help. Will she be bedbound? It's hard to say. It's hard to say, because it could be that she stresses herself out so much that there isn't a bedbound period. If that doesn't sound morbid. I wonder, with all of this stress, the inflammation, the problem, the heart can only but take so much, and the kidneys. I almost feel that if she continues in this and has a lack of exercise, she is due for a cardiac event. So that always worries me. That does worry me. There's my dry bag. You can, yeah. Thank you, Nightbot. Help me with grad school study. The buy me a coffee is fantastic. I must admit that's a good thing. Okay, Mrs. Wordsey, she's never going to get help. No, because YouTube allow it. Well, yeah, because they haven't taken down this content. She does whatever she can do to make sure she can get around the terms of service, and no matter, what happens. I mean, she said food is life. So it's like, you can't tell me off for eating. You can't tell me off for eating because food is life. So you can't touch me. It's kind of what she's saying with that. The worst thing to happen to Shannon Tutt was, yes, YouTube monetization. Imagine how much healthier she would be if she didn't have a system of enabling. Yeah, and I think it also underlined her dysfunctional behaviors, because she had people who potentially have the same dysfunctional behaviors themselves. Some, not all, I'm saying, and other types of issues, encouraging her into this. So it's like, for some people, YouTube is just not a healthy place. Hey, barium exposure, come on in. Oh, I saw Tim already popped out of morning chat. We're going to get to that one. And I'm going to go live about Tim on Monday, but I'm so glad you popped in to give us support over here. Appreciate it. Barium exposure, if you want to check out his channel, if you ever want to see some snippets on Timiverse. He's an official member of Girl World, Tim. Especially, he buys more clothes than Glitters and Lasers, actually. Tim has more fashion hauls than the girls. And does more Walmart shopping and touching stuff. He's out-touched items in the supermarket than Amberlynn Reed. That's what I'm saying. He's there. She's in a vicious cycle. Right. And the thing is, I don't even know if the food's a comfort, to be honest. I think she knows the food is harming her. I'm almost getting this sense because it's just so... Oh, I mean, I would have to sit down and actually assess her with, physical assessment, proper. He played up the tears. Oh no, I'm gonna love that. No, God, I hope we don't get a morning devotional. Not the tears. Oh my gosh, Tim was crying. Oh, I can't wait. Oh God. I tell you, Tim is messy. If you haven't checked out Tim, he's wild. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Anyway. Oh yeah, we're going to do the Wendy's. Yeah. Yeah, we've moved on to the Wendy's. Yeah. When we're just going to move on to Lindsay, because I was just going to do whatever. That's why I originally just called it Mukbang's Rage and whatever. And then I was like, well, YouTube is going to want me to have an official thumbnail for me to go live, for them to be happy with my content. So I had to throw up a thumbnail real fast. And then she popped out this. So we're heading over to this misery. Yeah, but she's doing actual... I mean, this is getting really, like, it was bad. Now it's really bad because she is so angry. She is not feeling like her heyday. This isn't mukbangs because it's like she's like all care to the wind too with her money, because she got all of those food items from probably the food pantry, and she's used very little of it. It's, of course, the eggplant altar waste, which kills me every time I see it. I wonder if she's still taking her medicine, Sandra? I have no idea. That might be the only thing she's doing that she thinks that is going to... Yeah, Tim, no pants on. It's a whole mess over there. That she... I think she might be taking it because she thinks it's going to help her with this high blood sugars that she's going to get from all this food. Yeah, you got to check out. Yeah, but don't check out Sarasota Tim. Check out me. And check out barium exposure, death by food. I mean, she's getting close to probably 600-pound life. If she wasn't only 5 foot tall, she'd probably be up there. Her height is probably the biggest impediment to her weight gain. Because she's only got but so much structure to go out. But she's getting close. I mean, this is a lot of filters on this young lady. A lot of filters. Foodie. All right, we're going to get into this. Oh, my goodness. 11 minutes. And maybe if we have time, we'll go back to the one from yesterday. But I think this is probably going to be enough for everybody today. Yeah, thank you, Angel. Yeah, we don't want to ever advertise Tim. I'm just teasing. But, because we don't want to give him views. We want to give everybody else views. Mukbangs are awesome, says she was never going to do takeout again. Yeah, and I think like I said, 97% of my channel thought that she would be back to mukbangs, and we actually had a lot of people vote on that. It was a really big vote. If anyone can think of a good idea for a poll for today, let me know in the chat and I'll stick it up. Because my idea at the moment is that, I wonder what she's upset about. She's angry and upset about something that isn't the things that she has actually said. And she's taking it out on herself and then trying to make out, like, trying to kind of pass a little bit of this anger, a little bit of this upset onto her audience so that they're carrying this burden, and also to get views because it has increased her views enormously. And Chantel, if anything, wants to make money on YouTube. So the more she does this type of content, the more, obviously people are going to react. We saw her views go up a lot. Right. And then she's getting more monetization, which is going to help fund for the food addiction. Foodie gets mad about people saying things, but it's based on patterns of behavior. And she proves us right. The Chantel cycle. Yes, but I think she almost uses her rage and upset, I feel, to her advantage. So I also always wonder about what is she letting out in order to cause this type of controversy. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, she's harming herself publicly, and her body isn't going to take it no matter how much she thinks she's giving it to the rest of us publicly. It's only her that gets harmed at the end of the day. But it's just, she does this. But this is very vitriolic this time. She's getting like, because like with the Cuba rage, obviously we could think there could be substances involved maybe with some of her behaviors. But this, we don't know what's involved. It's just, yeah, it's not healthy. Let's put it that way. Not healthy mentally for anybody, and definitely not physically healthy for her. I'm sure we won't see a blood glucose reading because everybody was like, you're really high. That's not good. And that's not what Chantel wants to hear. Chantel wants to hear, you're doing great. You're fantastic. You're foodie beauty. You're wonderful. I think she wants more adulation, I'm guessing. And if she's going to feed into the haters, she's going to really feed into it. Literally feed into it, by eating mukbangs. So, lot to unpack with this one. Oh, there we go.
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Right.
Hey there, Beezers.
No.
Want a personalized video from me to you that you can keep forever? Or maybe a special shout out? Or maybe you just have a pressing question for me you want answered. All you have to do is request a personalized video or direct message from me on Cameo. Great birthday or special occasion gifts. Hope to hear from you.
All right. I didn't mean to run them at the same time.
Welcome back to another video. Today I have Wendy's for you. I'm going to be eating Wendy's for lunch today. I haven't had Wendy's in a long time, and I'm super craving it. So anyways, I hope this makes you hungry, and I hope you have something good to eat today and have lunch with me. All right, so I got a Dave's single, just a single patty. And I also got some spicy chicken nuggets, and they gave me some barbecue sauce. And I also have some chili cheese fries, and I added some jalapenos on there. All right, so, and I have some diet cola.
Oh, it doesn't matter, diet, whatever. There's so much about whether or not it's actually beneficial to drink things with artificial sugars. Does it trick the body? Is that actually actually not that good for you because of the artificial sugars? I think there's still a lot of science that needs to be studied in the use of it. I don't know. I've never been a fan of diet drinks. I can taste the aspartame. I can taste that very distinctly. So I'm not a fan of sodas. I like my iced tea with no sugar, little lemonade in it, but no sugar. Well, so I guess I have sugar. Anyway, this looks just brown and really bad. I'm sure Santa Cooks will break down all the calories and all the fats and all the good stuff that I don't break down because I'm not a nutritionist or a registered dietitian or anybody who understands. I mean, I understand, but obviously someone. This is terrible. And how much does a Wendy's meal cost in Kuwait? Because they have to, do they import a lot of this? I just always feel that these chain restaurants, anyway, chili cheese fries. Are you serious, Chantel? Brown chicken nuggets and a hamburger in Kuwait. I don't even know what to say. I really
So
don't
let's
know what
dig
to
in
say.
and try a bite of this
Oh, barium exposure. Thank you.
sandwich.
Hold on,
this
barium
burger.
exposure. I've got something
Bismillah.
special for you because
Beauty bite.
I have learned from the best of them recently. And so
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
yeah, and I dry beg for members all day long on my channel because I love people joining my community and it helps me out and helps me continue with my content. And I'm going to add you and Blind Views. I'm excited. I got all these new members to add. So thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That hamburger is really big. But Rosebud, it's only a single patty. What are you talking about? It's just one patty on a cheeseburger. Looks like it's just so healthy. I'm sure Cheekbones is having a meltdown. I don't think Cheekbones can survive this. I don't think my registered dietitian, who was a diabetes educator, can survive this, Foodie. You're going to break down the registered dietitian that we bring on panel. Oh, this girl. But there's a 2 in the thumbnail. Oh, she's got 2 burgers. Good catch. Oh, that's the, the backup burger. When she's finished with the first one, she got a backup burger. Beauty bite is now a diabetic bite. Oh, God. It's just this, unfortunately, and as cheesy as this joke sounds, is a recipe for a heart attack. That's all this is. She's already got a really bad inflammatory disease with the diabetes. That's what I said it's actually a vascular disease. So it affects your veins and your vessels and all the stuff that pumps your blood through the body, rather than it being a disorder of blood sugar, because it affects so much of the vasculature, and including the heart. And she just says, I'm on the medication that she's on is not sufficient. And those doctors in Kuwait, I always say when people are always talking, when she's putting out community posts like she's a resident in this country, she is a tourist in Kuwait and she has no medical provider. And her health has got to be just in the trash. This is not somebody who should be not getting proper medical care. And she needs to take up this medical first, because she can't take care of the rest, because this is how she then comes out. Yeah, somebody paid for this. Somebody. Look at the swelling in her hands. You can just see that she's the sodium. I mean, she's going to be feeling sick again. She'll be back into a hyperglycemic episode. As we kind of try to explain here, because her body is so accustomed to these high blood sugars that she doesn't have the same physical response to an increased very high blood sugars, the way that somebody who just suddenly had that sugar, go spike up, because her body has had the ability over time to kind of help level that out and cope with it, if you may, but not actually level out the damage, but make her be able to function, at least in some way. Oh, she is a train wreck. Lots of chubby chasers in the world, Ray. They're all, unfortunately, and they're doing, this is what social media, it used to be newspapers, but newspapers, obviously, there was a certain amount of control. Social media and what we are experiencing as a global society at this moment, that's why I'm so fascinated in these topics. We're seeing just more narcissistic personality styles come out. We see this type of content. I mean, we're learning about people in ways I think many of us had no idea. But she's very swollen. She does not look good. I know she has filters, but she's starting to swell up again, which is all the sodium. Obviously, this is bad. She is in a bad place.
First bite for you guys. All right, let's do this.
And nobody is enjoying this. Who can enjoy watching this person do this? Oh. Who is enjoying that? I mean, it could only be for a certain demographic that enjoys this type of content. Because for most people with any normalcy to them, I think realizes what she's doing is wrong and harmful and not good. I think we've seen enough examples. And to be active and not get any type of mental health is really bad. I do really wish that YouTube would take these people down in some ways. Just because obviously I don't want to have people being able to access things that harm them. It's like watching her roll her eyes is no different than watching somebody take heroin. I mean, them rolling their eyes in the back of their head when they get the taste of that first shot. That's what I see. I see an addict getting the start of the fix. That's what I see. That's exactly what I see. An addict getting the fix. It's not a beauty bite. It's nothing. It's none of that. This is my addiction. Just got my fix. That's it. So I think for her to keep talking about BED is very wrong in her respect because she's not had really an official diagnosis. I think just because you eat large quantities of food at a sitting does not necessarily mean it's BED. It's the way it's a little bit more complex than that, Chantel. But without physical assessment and doing questionnaires and really getting into the weeds with her, she doesn't want to be diagnosed. That's the other part. She really doesn't really want to hear from somebody who's a professional, who's educated, who knows more than she does, because that Chantel doesn't like that, telling her what is actually wrong. She wants to go into the doctors, into the therapists, and tell them what she thinks is wrong with her, and then have somebody that matches her to that. Every time she talks about her interactions with physicians, with doctors, she tells them I have sciatica, because of course the sciatica's returned. I told them I had sciatica, and then the doctor agreed with me. Well, no, that's not the case. We know you would actually have to have diagnostic tests. And there are a lot of people that understand and who have had sciatica and hear you describe sciatica, and it doesn't match to any patients who have ever had sciatica. So that's what she needs. She does not like any confrontation from anybody, even government, anything that's going to upset Chantel's apple cart, she's not happy with because she's spoiled and she's entitled. She has no self-control. That's my thoughts. Sorry, diatribe. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. Sorry. It was long. I apologize. I don't know why. Oh, God. A Zempic parody. Oh, God. Oh, right. That's a good poll, Jamie. Right. Kathy says she makes me feel sick. Hold on, let me stop that. That's a good poll. Hold on.
Spicy.
She doesn't even bother to talk now because, of course, she's not going to let us know anything. So I guess we're not going to have the grassy high childhood stories anymore. That's okay. We don't miss them. Okay. Nobody misses your false stories of your childhood. Nobody enjoys your fake stories about French immersion school and how good you are at speaking French. We don't even know if you really went to nobody knows because you don't have enough people, probably even from your childhood, who remember you well enough to say anything. And they're keeping clear out of it, obviously, which is smart. So, I mean, I don't even know with how much she lies as an adult about stuff, how much is the truth from her childhood, other than things that people have definitely been able to confirm. But she's just obviously not even, she's so angry at everybody, but she's getting more views than ever. So, I probably most of it's hate watch, to be honest. I wonder how many are actually watching for hate and how many people are watching because they actually enjoy this content. So we're going to put out that poll, Jamie, about who actually enjoys watching Chantel and a mukbang. If I have 1%, then we know who else is watching this. Reveal yourselves.
Nugget. Do you guys like Wendy's nuggets?
No. There we go.
Ooh, that's got a nice kick to
Oh
it.
my gosh. I know, Robert. She is very swollen. Foodie, I've got some, all types of audience members now, thanks to Tim. And a lot of people who've also probably dealt with friends and family members who deal with heart disease because we're older. It's often a disease of the aging. And, we can see when, spots of heart disease. I heard somebody took a picture the other day and your eyeball was like going in a completely different direction. Are you getting retinopathy? Because that kind of pulls at your eyeball, girl. All that mascara, especially with all of those elevated blood sugars that you've had, girl, you're going to be blind. I'm just going to let you know you are going to go blind. The biggest thing I think that's going to happen to her before anything else is actually her going blind from the retinopathy. I almost, because she's always squinting and, staring at that screen. I almost think she'll lose her eyesight before she loses her foot. That's the one that I think actually will go before anything else is the eyes. And then it potentially will be a heart attack because I've seen it with type 1 diabetics, even sometimes before the kidneys go. So I wonder with that eye, is that the retinopathy? I wouldn't be shocked. She's doing so much harm. I mean, she's no doctor is going to be able to get her to control. And I've said this for a long time, her medical issues until she addresses her mental issues. And she does not want to do that because she has such a narcissistic personality trait about her. She could never listen to somebody who could know more than she does. In my just speculation here. And that's why Chantel is throwing it at all of us because nobody knows better than she. Gosh, this is just unaliving herself in public.
Which fast food place do you guys find has the best nuggets?
She ate her glasses. Yes, Kathy, she ate those glasses.
All right.
Salah don't
Take
care.
a huge bite of this.
Salah doesn't care. Right. Yeah. Oh.
Wendy's has really good chili cheese fries. And you have to add jalapenos.
Now, sorry guys. I didn't mean to go over that way. I just want to let you guys.
Sweet pickle.
All right, sorry. We might have gone back a little bit. I just wanted to point out also too for people who may be new to Chantel, she has a ton of filters on, so she doesn't even look like this in reality. She looks a lot larger and a lot less well. So this person uses probably, I don't know how many filters to come on her live streams. I have none, I think. I don't know. There might be one on StreamYard, a slight one that improves me a little bit. I can't remember if I switched it on or not. I may have. For all purposes of honesty. But yeah, so this is not even really, if you think she looks bad, I would love to actually do a true physical assessment and see what she looks like in person. Because it's not this. This is the dressed up version of Chantel. Because she does not look like this. The eyes she makes bigger. This is not even how she looks. It's so, that's also frightening too. She doesn't know if she doesn't show her real self.
Which honestly, I personally prefer dill pickles on a burger, but
I know. I know. Oh, she makes the worst noises. She didn't even bother to put out her trigger warning today. So she didn't even bother with the trigger warning. So that was just performative yesterday. That trigger warning talking about, oh, all of these, people are out there, and I'm only going to be talking, the trigger warning about mukbangs. What was it? Fat girls eating and something else. I can't remember the third one. But I mean, she was trying to be so provocative, like I'm just a fat girl eating a mukbang, it's just like, wow, who in the world are you? I mean, mad at everything and everybody, but not herself. She is mad at herself. Don't worry. She's not happy with who she is, but it's not enough to make her change. If that makes sense. It's actually bringing her deeper into her addiction instead of it. So she's really like in a bad place with something at the moment, a really bad place. For a moment, she showed like through her videos where she was trying to like show her health stuff and do things. I think she does occasionally attempt to change her behaviors because she knows she's hurting herself at the end of the day. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the tools, the skills, the capacity to know how to go about that. And then if something else happens that she doesn't feel that this is all my speculating, she doesn't have control of, like whatever's happened, because we know she has to do a visa run. We know things are changing in Kuwait. And she may not want to think about those things, but they are going to affect how she and Salah continue to live in Kuwait and how she continues to come back in and out of the country on a tourist visa. And they are cracking down. And so she can, so there's a lot going on and she's never really going to reveal it. So we can only speculate. But this to me says, I'm angry, I'm mad, but I don't know how else to handle my emotions. I'm just going to handle it this way. This is it. Throwing it out here. I don't think Salah ever promised to help her. I mean, is that background fake? The cat hasn't moved a fraction of an inch since she started. Probably the cat's just wanting to get out. I don't think the background's fake, though. It's just probably Julia's just wishing she was back out with her family on the streets. But this is so bad. And this food is not even going to touch her appetite. This is like, she needs like double this for the type of way she eats. Because this, I can tell, is going to, because this type of food doesn't really fill you for a long period of time. It's just a quick rush of sugar here. That's it. This is all damaging to her body. It's just really, I mean, this is heart disease. She knows it. She knows it. She knows. She knows.
shaped like a boot.
The curtain moved. Cat knows the less she moves.
That's really spicy. I'm surprised.
She is, Robert. Yes. Oh, yeah. The essence of defiance. it's the essence of defiance, but to who? To her family? I mean, who is she hating? The only person that I see that Chantel does not like is Chantel. Only person she does not like or value is herself. Because when you somehow, even when the times are the toughest that they are, if you have value in yourself, or you understand you have a purpose, or that you think that your life is worth something, you wouldn't try to engage in behaviors that are going to harm you. She doesn't have any tools for resilience. She has no coping mechanisms, none whatsoever, none that are healthy. So she lacks coping mechanisms. She's this is not even her face. This is so filtered. She doesn't look anything like this. I mean, she's got that white, like trying to white out her skin so that we don't see the redness that she has from that rosacea. She is filtered up to the nines at this point. This is not even what this person looks like. She wishes she could look this pretty. She does not have those eyes. This is a fake face. It's not even her face. We wouldn't probably recognize her on the street except for her clothing and her size. But facially, from looking at this and what we would see, two totally different people. It's fake. Her whole face is fake. It's fake. It's wild.
The jalapenos.
Yeah, it's because of all the filters. It's because it's filtered to the 9. And she can eat double that. Right.
Man, that's a good burger.
Wow. Oh, yeah. And we know it's like empty calories too, Rose. That 1,500 calories doesn't even touch her. She wants double that. She could eat those 2 burgers, 2 sets of those nuggets, 2 sets of those chili fries, and be hungry in an hour. Because that food doesn't sit in you like that. It doesn't really give you the nutrition, the fullness, the that your body is really wanting. This is just like this is like quick, end a little bit of hunger. I'm getting a fix of sugar and salt. That's pretty much it. It's very little nutritional value, if any, in any of the things that she's just put in her mouth. I mean, there's the only thing potentially is that sad burger. And obviously we know I'm a vegan, but I will be honest to where I see, people sometimes get upset. How are you talking about the meat? I know the meat industry has problems, but people eat meat. I can't. I'm not getting into everything. But just that, the pickle, she has way too many pickles. I mean, I love a pickle girl, but you're insane. And then these nuggets. I mean, what the manufactured nonsense crispy crumble. This is as bad as somebody, back in the day, I loved some popcorn shrimp. It's no better, girl, than the breaded popcorn shrimp. I'll be honest. But maybe that's even better, actually. This, what? What is this, girl? Come on. What is this? Look at the swelling. I can't. This is wild. Just terrible. Yes. Yes, cowboy dog. She's mad about something. It's all been since the tower. Hasn't it been since that tower visit? It just got really bad. Because, she kind of was, out and about and looking like she was, trying to maybe return back to the cycle of the health. And then she just, something occurred. Something's occurred. Something has occurred. And it probably needs a lot of money. And I think that she is having to go back, I guess, kind of to this formula in some ways. Because one, it's her poor coping mechanism for whatever problems she's having in her life. This is my speculation. But she also knows it brings her a lot of views. So it could be because Chantel's not stupid when it comes to understanding YouTube and how it works to get people eyeballs on your channel and to make money. And so it could be that whatever she learned in that tower has meant that she needs to get a lot more money together. And this is a way, but she's angry about that too. It's like something, I don't know. We're going to have to listen to, because Rose, some of those tarot readings you did recently, you predicted the cards kind of said one thing and it did actually come about recently. And I wish I could remember what it was, but there was something you said. I was like, and then it came out. I was like, dang. And it's been like, we knew this wasn't going to be a positive journey. Let's be honest. But yeah, something happened. Something's occurred that she doesn't feel she has control over. This is the one thing that Chantel can control is the amount of food she eats. This is her only control, is this. This is her control. Oh, Ross, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's hard when you're on the road. It is hard. That's why I always say, if you can make a sandwich or bring your own things out, you're just always so much better off than eating from those fast food places. I've had marathon runners who had heart attacks at the end of them, and the only thing that they realized was the diet. They were still eating a lot of fast food, and so yeah, it's every once in a while for a treat. It was a treat when I was a kid. Now it's like a daily diet for people, and that's not really the most nutritious thing. It's not good for the heart. These things aren't healthy foods. They just aren't. There's no way to shake it. There's no way to say it otherwise. These are not foods that are healthy for the heart. And the one thing that your body needs to operate well is your heart. So why would you want to keep damaging it? It's not to say that once in a blue moon for a treat, it's not going to do you any harm. But obviously, consistently consuming this type of food has been shown to lead to more incidences of atherosclerotic plaque buildup and just other difficulties. Probably because of a lot of the foods are very heavy in fats and meats and things that can help build up these plaques in your arteries. It's just it's the way it goes. It's not, it could be partly hereditary factors, a lot of things involved. But this we know is not good for you on the regular. There's not enough proper nutrition in this. And then all this carbs, a lot of sugar. We know Chantel doesn't exercise at all to do anything about lowering that. Sorry. I used to be a cardiology nurse. That was my specialty.
How many of you have been watching?
So if anyone are not aware, my specialty before I was in moving towards psychiatric mental health, I was actually on the path to become an acute care adult gerontology nurse practitioner. And then having involved myself more with YouTube and just over time and just kind of realizing where nursing, there's shortages everywhere. I just really started to realize that mental health, if we don't address that often with the patients, then we may not be able to get them physically well. And so I've decided that in that regard, it's very important to help address people's mental health and how they manage things. And that's why if you do look for life coaches and things like that, it's good to actually look for licensed psychologists, licensed psychiatrists, not just a 20-year-old on the internet who thinks she's got the answers to stuff, okay? Because life always seems good in your 20s. It's, so because a lot of times what people need are things that could do with cognitive behavioral therapies and different types of modalities that may need to be used in order to get this person into better coping skills and mechanisms, because she's never learned them. And for whatever reason, because when you don't teach people how to cope with the decisions that they make, then they get into habits that aren't healthy in order to cope with things. And this is what we see. But it could be also bait for money, because Chantel's smart, but she don't mind killing her health at the same time, but she's not happy. Anyway. Diatribe over.
My mukbangs.
Right.
From the very beginning.
Right, Ross. I promise you, it's not anything to do with that. It's really, like I said, I had a gentleman, marathon runner, skinny as a whip. And he had a heart attack at the end of the race. And he had to get, a stent. Obviously, he didn't have to do a bypass. He just needed a stent. And he realized it was the diet, because he would get out with the boys at lunchtime and eat up the fast food joints with them. And the minute after that heart attack, he stopped going to those places. And he even said to his younger colleagues, you need to keep away from those places. So it's not, there's things that happen to the heart that you may feel okay because the heart's going to compensate. And then one day that blockage is going to get so tight to the point, and sometimes they block completely, that there's no actual blood flow going to that heart muscle anymore. And obviously the heart can't function that way. So it's not a good event. It's not a good event. I would not want to promise you. I've dealt with so many cardiac patients and bypass surgeries and stuff. That's another reason why I decided to go to mental health, because I had so many patients with depression after these massive cardiac events or valve replacements, and how it affected their lives and their financial concerns. Just a lot that just specifically comes with having major medical events. And so it's so important to take care of up here too, and she doesn't do that. None whatsoever. It's so harmful for anybody who watches her and follows her and thinks this person has any advice to give. She's got none to give. Nothing to give anybody. Sorry, I went on a soapbox there. I need to not do that. Oh, that sounds good. Right. Yeah, if Chantel's trying to get in there and convince immigration that she and Salah are in this love marriage, when she's a 40-year-old obese woman and he's this young guy, they're not going to buy it. I'm sorry. There's just too much about scamming and catfishing and romance scammers and all of these things. And the people are being able to access one another much easier globally because of the internet. So it's much easier to hook up with people around the globe and say, oh, yeah, we got this type of relationship. I'm sure immigration officers are becoming very aware of what's happening. And Chantel's got no skills. So Salah's not coming in like he's a medical professional who's suddenly going to be working as a doctor in Canada. He's got nothing. He's got no skills. He's got no university degree. He could literally work a farm. And I don't think Salah, with his delicate hands, is going to want to be a farmhand picking something in the farm in Canada. That's not the way he envisions it. And Chantel here, with this dying channel of hers, she's not going to be able to give him any type of lifestyle in Canada. They'll be both living in the goddamn Kia. They'll be lucky to get a Motel 6. So, the girlfriend here can keep border hopping, but it's going to catch up with her. We all know this is going to catch up with her. It's going to catch up with her financially, some way. So she's got to go back to her, mukbang content to get the views up. I don't know, but something is bothering her, and we'll never know. Oh yeah, we know she's evading the taxes in Canada.
I'm tearing up.
Yeah, Claudette. Yeah, they're not a real couple. Yeah, he's too dainty for her.
My first mukbang.
Yeah.
I ordered from this
I need to actually see the papers for those degrees. I would be shocked that he has 2 university degrees. But it still needs to be in fields that they want you in. Doesn't matter. He could have an art history and a theater degree. That's not going to be a degree that is going to get you an immigration status. Tell you the best ones to have are medical. Or science, or, people who do. Best way to get to Kuwait is obviously be somebody who did geographical studies and studies, how to drill for oil. That's how, my stepfather was about to leave the military, and then the Falklands conflict came up, and unfortunately, they forced him to stay in the military and ended up staying in the Royal Navy for 27 years. But he had initially studied geography with the goals of working at the oil different places in Saudi Arabia he was about to go to work at the oil fields. So he doesn't, unless he has a skill that people are looking for, just having a degree isn't going to be suitable. You know, he's got to have it in a profession that people are wanting to have in their country. Like I said, nursing, anything medical. If you can speak the language, you're going to get a job. So it's just, but if, like I said, if he just has a business degree, I'm sorry, that's not going to excite immigration. Computing science, something, you got to have something more. Skill set. Engineer.
Restaurant, that was not very good.
Oh, he'll be denied. Oh, no.
It was like lasagna.
See, I've made people subscribe now to my channel if you want to make comments to my channel. So you have to subscribe to me. You can't just make, that's, so she doesn't pop in like she used to, because she would come into the live chats before. She stopped commenting in my sections recently, probably because I called her out so much. But yeah, it's her favorite sock account at the moment. She's taking everything out on everybody. Goodness me, girl. She's trying to stir up girl world too. Girl, I got Tim crying. I need to get to Tim.
Just basically noodles, lasagna noodles, and
oh my gosh. Oh my god.
a watery meat sauce.
I need
hardly any cheese.
I hope the reaction channels are taking screenshots and are going to show this stuff, because I really want to see what she is saying. Oh, she always came to mind and be like, you just don't understand. She just changes her mind. It's not that she's, I can't remember what I would just, that she's, I can't remember the term I used at the time. Oh, somebody help me. Anyway, she was upset because I guess I was calling her one thing and she was like saying that she's not. Oh, I think I was calling her a scamming liar. Gosh, what medical terms. But she would be all upset, like, oh no, she has a right to change her mind, and that's Chantel's biggest excuse, is that she has a right. She's not a liar. Okay, she's not deceitful. She's not dishonest. She just changes her mind a lot. And for most of us, oh, Sarah is here? Oh, gosh. Oh, I didn't even see her comment. Oh, thank you, guys. I wouldn't see her. Just blabbing away about this narcissistic personality trait individual out here doing self-harm and triggering a bunch of people. She's been in here. Pat Ray, one of my moderators. Oh, please do not ban her. Do not ban her, Pat. Keep her in the chat, please. Sarah Lee, you are invited to hang out in my chat. I appreciate the engagement. Highlight one of her comments for me, somebody. Oh, take care. Take care. You got to go watch the Selfridge Air Show? Timmy! Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to be popping out that crying video soon enough. You enjoy that air show. I got an air show here every day in Virginia Beach where I live. If you want to look at some fighter jets, we get air shows all the time. It's a giant air show around here. It really is. So if you love it, come on and see us in Virginia Beach. Sarah is here trying to get us to take the bait on her latest health arc reversal. Okay, this is the denial part. She's always going through the Kubler stages of grief. We get the you know, the depression, the denial, the anger, you know, all of it. So she's trying to get sick of pray. Wasn't she saying she prayed to Allah for forgiveness for abusing her body just weeks ago? Yeah, but Allah also, even if she prayed to Allah about that, I think that Allah also understands that you have a certain amount of self-control that you need to exhibit. And I would say that this was actually against the teachings of Allah, who did not like gluttony. So double check that, Sarah Lee, because I think praying is just not going to work out. Praying in a way is not going to work it out. It's just not going to work it out. Sarah Lee is entertaining. You hate hair shows? Well, Cat C would not enjoy living in Virginia Beach because it's like a constant air show. It really is. She's entertaining. Oh, hell no. It says you have to help yourself as well. Exactly. Praying, you know, this is a misuse of religion too, because you shouldn't be putting it all on Allah to fix your problems. And so just praying and saying he's abusing your body. Well, then if you are realizing that, then stop doing it. Because I don't think just asking for forgiveness and then continue with the behavior is exactly the teachings. I don't know enough about that. And I know there's other people who are much more attuned and abreast with obviously the teachings of the Muslim faith. But I would think that's not great. I would think that Allah is not a fan of this, any of this. So yeah. Facebook is listening. I just got an ad for an app for binge eating. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Or hate comments or yes, I don't ever delete them. I make sure I keep them in the chats. Vibe, you have several accents. Britain, Jersey. Yeah, I've lived in so many different countries. I know somebody told me that to get rid of my accent on my channel today. Like, you need to get rid of your hair and your accent. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's because I've lived in so many different places. I grew up in multiple countries. I don't just speak English. And I didn't just live in the States. I lived all over the place. And I've lived in Spanish speaking countries for extended periods of time too. So I've got a varied accent because of it. But people from the UK obviously hear my Britishisms and my very British sayings. So people from home can tell I obviously grew up in the UK. And then I got these words because I've been 20 years back in the States. It's a long story. I do have a very exclusive accent. I do. And it freaks people out because people want to put people in little boxes, you know, based on accents and so forth. And it's hard for me because I'm all over the shop because thank you, Sandra. Yeah, it's definitely unique. And it's because I grew up and I've lived in so many different places. It's just, I call myself very much a globalist in the respect that I literally grew up around the globe. And my mother and my stepfather weren't from the same country. So I heard two different accents in my home growing up as a child. My stepfather was from Northern Ireland. I don't know if that had any impact on me. Had a very strong Northern Irish accent, my stepfather. And I had a lot of family that lived in Northern Ireland. So I used to visit Northern Ireland quite frequently. And then I lived in Mexico for 7 years. And I grew up in Scotland. I mean, I've been all over the shop. That's why I have a unique perspective sometimes too, I think, is because I've lived in so many different places as well. And had a lot of different experiences, obviously, because of it. And it's been on a lot of my own volition. So not through my family. It's just through my independent self. So that's why it's interesting to me to see Chantel cope so poorly with her international travel. Because I understand, you know, I lived abroad in different places, very far from my family. Married to a husband I didn't really like, even though we were supposed to be married for love. So, I mean, I get it. And I get not using good coping mechanisms. I understand that too. But this is just pitiful at this point, at her age.
Oh, I think it had a lot of cheese.
You're boring, Chantel.
but just on the top, like no ricotta in between or anything.
Mm.
And had,
We think it's her
and
second
then I had
burger.
some soggy zucchini sticks and a burger.
Yes. Well, Chantel's going to be joining van life very soon if she's not careful. Chantel could be part of van life and Kia life soon. Because Chantel, when she goes back to Canada, the only thing she is in is her red Kia car. And she has had the audacity to make fun of other people's living situations and how other people live. And she's, this is just, she's on a tourist visa in Kuwait. She has been for a while. She has to jump back and forth and spend huge amounts of money flying back and forth to Canada, where she usually goes into a hypoglycemic event and into an ER. It's wild. But she may be in that nomadic life soon if she's not careful, because she can't just keep doing this. This is not a long-term plan for your future, Chantel. You should understand that Kuwait is not going to have you become a citizen of its country or a resident or anything of that nature. You will always be on a tourist visa. There is no skill set. You don't teach. You don't do anything. All this time that you've sat in Kuwait, you could have been starting to teach English, but you came in on a tourist visa. You had time then to actually start to speak to maybe some bilingual schools out there. Because that's how Milk Tea did it. That's how I did it in Mexico. I worked as a bilingual teacher, and then I used to work for the publishing companies teaching teachers how to teach English. I used to work for Pearson Education. I think a lot of people familiar with them here in the U.S. Ever been to college or anywhere, you probably had a Pearson education book. Well, I worked for Pearson. And I would travel throughout Mexico giving conferences and lectures on how to use the books, And Chantel has done none of that because she doesn't pump out enough content. She could have done that and showed how she became an English teacher in Kuwait and actually gotten herself a skill set that maybe it could have kept her in Kuwait. Sometimes you don't have to have the teaching degree. You can do a simple certification to be a teacher to teach these classes. They just like people who speak native English. Supposedly she's so good at English. But she's done none of that. She's got no skills as an adult. She really lacks skills, man. And that's why if all this starts to fall apart, and she's got no control over the government in Kuwait, zero control, she's really going to take a fall. It's going to be interesting content to watch. But I feel like things have been going down for Chantel. And I just feel like it's coming. Something's coming. I feel it more than ever. Just through her personality changes. Right. Well, the thing to do is to find a school who will hire you and then get them to try to help you get your visa paperwork. Because and it's kind of how sometimes it happens. I know when I originally started in Mexico, they brought me in on a tourist visa. And then immediately when I got into the country and had my job, they got me in front of the attorney to give me my immigration papers. So, and then obviously I stayed on immigration papers and I had different statuses of immigration because I got married. I'd lived there longer. Most of it was based on what I did for work, actually, and the time I spent there. So very little had to do with my marriage. It was all based on my work as a teacher. So she could have very easily approached schools on these tourist visas and said, hey, I'm here on a tourist visa. I'm actually married to somebody here. She could have said that shit, I'm looking to find work as a teacher and with the hope that you'll be able to help me get immigration here because I'm able to perform a job as a native English speaker that nobody in Kuwait is able to perform. Because that was the thing I had to show for my FME DOS FM2 status for immigration, which was the higher level, which meant that I didn't have to have immigration papers based on the company I worked for, but I could freely move as a working resident of Mexico based on these immigration. So there's different levels of immigration status. And I was on my own volition more than through the marriage, because actually having the skill that is needed is more easy to get in on that with immigration than actually through a marriage a lot of times. Because if the country wants that skill set, which they said that, I had expertise in linguistics that people obviously in Mexico would not have because they're not native speakers. And so they had to word it in such a way to show that I wasn't taking a job from somebody in Mexico. So however you feel about immigration and migration stuff, that's not really what this is about, but it's really what that was the requirement. And so Chantel has had plenty of time to have talked to schools, discussed with schools, reached out and found ways, but she's too lazy. She's too effing lazy. She wants that easy. She just thought she could swan on because she doesn't understand how the world works. Her ignorance is palpable at the moment. And it's making her mad. She doesn't know how to cope with it. She's not very bright. Sorry, Sarah Lee, you just aren't a very bright individual. Not as an adult. You have very few coping skills. You really are just playing it by ear, girl.
Wow. Those nuggets are really spicy.
Hey, come
I
on
wasn't
in.
expecting that. I mean, I was expecting like fast food spicy.
What?
It's like not that spicy. All right, let's finish up these chili cheese fries.
What's happening? Chantel's killing
Which are
herself.
so good.
Sorry, unaliving herself. Sorry.
They could use more cheese.
Proper language. I was hanging out like I was hanging out with my friends. Chantel is trying to unalive herself on camera and taking her rage out on food, in my speculative opinion. She's mad about stuff she can't control. She doesn't know how to cope with it. And she also knows if she does this type of toxic content that her views will go up. And that will help her get money, which she's going to need. She's going to need money. Because I don't think she's going to be able to stay in Kuwait. I know she keeps saying, I don't see how she can keep getting away with these tourist visas. The government is changing there. And I'm sure they're going to start looking at how often people are coming in on these tourist visas. I mean, hers is constant. And it's been a couple of years now, hasn't it? That's just a huge red flag for any immigration that she's just coming in like. I mean, gosh, they must just think she loves Kuwait. She's here as a tourist constantly. I mean, and the fact that she's not really supposed to be potentially in these apartments. I mean, how have they got this set up? Is that maybe why we don't see Salah as much? Because they don't want to appear married? For other reasons? Girl, you are on some tricky waters there. Okay. Yeah, that's what's going on. In my opinion. I don't know. She's getting close.
It's still yummy. Like the chili just like soaks inside the fries.
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by insult to which profession. Yes, me too, Megan. I hope you get better soon. Oh. Yeah, it seems to be we're getting into that summer flu and cold season, everybody. So yeah, just be safe and take care of yourselves out there. Lots of hand washing, stay hydrated. That's my best advice. So yeah, I hope everyone feels better soon. Chantel's strike will be off at the end of the month. I don't know what she wants to do. Good. I can see why Salah is so enamored with her. Me too. I can see it. And I'm not sure about the profession that I referred to. I'm so sorry. Every last drop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's got the plastic picnic table out now. Oh. You've been out of the loop? Oh, you're lost. You've been out of the loop a bit. That's okay. That's okay. I've been kind of out of the loop a little bit with her too, except that she's back to mukbangs. She doesn't want to talk about her personal life. She's not going to talk about her diabetes. She's not going to talk about her health. But this is saying everything about your health, Chantel. Your mental health, girl, is all out here for everybody to see. Everybody. She's really showing it to a steady C. She's got us all. And Ross says, also, YouTube is starting to demonetize eating channels. That's what we're hoping, Ross. Because of the self-harm. It's just a matter of time before she gets permanently demonetized. Well, she's been banned. She got a channel strike recently because she went off on some reaction channels. And we are hoping that she does. I'm hoping because there's so many of, ever since Life by Jim passed away, I think YouTube needs to look much closer at anything that puts mukbang in the title and actually look at the creator. Because I feel like they use this mukbang as a kind of a cover for the content. Like, oh, it's a mukbang, So that's just, eating and talking. It's like, but no, that's not this for this young lady. This is her with an active addiction, because you can see it when she starts to fix her eyes rolling. It's just, yeah, it's so frustrating. They were a bit bummed they had no Frosty. Well, I don't know if they have those in Kuwait. Maybe she's got one in the freezer she's not letting us know about because she wants to show that she's got some modicum of control over here. Hey, Sarah Lee, did you get yourself a Frosty cone too? We want to know. Put it in the chat. LA Beast got demonetized. Oh, that's good to know. Oh, I wonder if she's heard anything from YouTube. Stella Virgin. That's good to know. Huh. Yeah, Stella Virgin. The eye roll, orgasming, tonguing the fries, making out with the burger, slurping 2 liters of soda. Yeah. I mean, she's having a relationship with that burger and that Wendy's food. I mean, that's a full, but I promise you, Salah don't see anything like that. Nobody gets the love and the passion as much as Chantel and her food. Nobody. I'm not trying to be cantankerous. I meant to take work to be an ESL teacher, and she doesn't have the. Oh, okay. Sis, okay. Thank you, Bert. Well, I'm just saying that she keeps. She said she was in university to be an English major. So at one point, supposedly, Chantel had started college with the study of English. So yes, when I did my second language teaching, I was already a certified teacher from the UK. So I had 4 years of bachelor education with honors before I started my work as a teacher, which gave me a leg up, obviously, when I was teaching abroad. But yeah, I don't think she's equipped to do the ESL teaching. I'm just saying that would have been probably the only route she had available to her because she has no other skill sets. Thank you for clarifying. Yes. Thank you for clarifying. I'm glad you clarified for that. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that I think that she would have done it. Because she doesn't have the capacity, even the to even interact with the school and show that she could be competent. Because I actually had some teachers because I ran a language school in Mexico, like the English, and I would place teachers with businesses in Mexico City. So the gentleman owned the business, and some of our businesses would be Telmex and some of the other, larger Mexican corporations. And we would actually either have students in the class, or sometimes with their higher level executives, we would send students to the businesses and they would teach English inside the businesses. Like in the morning before the people started their workday, they might take English classes. So there are a lot of companies in Mexico that would spend money on giving their employees English classes, but often the employees would have to take them in their own time before work or after work. And they did it because they wanted to learn a second language. I mean, they were really hard workers, and they understood the benefits. So I would, if the person was somebody I found was good working with the students, and they were somebody with a good professional history, and they seemed to engage well, and they engaged well with the teaching materials, I would hire them as a native speaker, because I put native speakers primarily in my schools. I did have some Mexicans teachers too, that obviously were experts in speaking English, So, I mean, if whoever it was, but I didn't necessarily hold for a college degree or people even having a teaching background. They just needed to have the skills and the willingness to learn. So, I mean, and I would give little classes to help people, obviously, because the study materials were very defined. And so as long as you could interact and engage well with the students, the classes were small. So it was a little bit different. But yeah, God, I can imagine her. No, I mean, obviously. I was giving her best case scenario of work. Because I know she can't do any of those. I really know she can't. Even she can make money on TikTok to pay out what? Yes. Yeah, she would have to become the biggest dry beggar on TikTok ever. She'd have to be immediately getting on there and saying, I've got to GoFundMe. If you want to help me get my beautiful husband from Kuwait to Canada, please contribute to my $40,000 GoFundMe account, because that's how much it would cost for us to set up home and fly to Canada, get brand new furniture. I'm surprised she hasn't set up a GoFundMe for Salah to get him to Canada, because of course, she doesn't want to say that they're trying to get to Canada. Oh no, nobody would have hired her as a teacher. I know. I know. No, probably not. I doubt it, but I'm just saying it was an option. It was their only option if she was really serious about wanting to stay in Kuwait. And I don't think, and she just doesn't even care about it. She don't care. Culture Love says, I know more than a few people who taught English in Japan and South Korea, but they were educated. Yes, I know. Not necessarily with an English degree, but they had undergraduate degree or in school. Yes, a lot of the teachers that I had didn't necessarily have teaching degrees, but they did have education behind them. Yeah. So, yeah. She supposedly started university in Canada. Supposedly she had great grades and she was in college studying English. So, supposedly that's what she studied. But instead of her trying to do anything that would give her the possibility to remain in Kuwait, like taking the ESL teaching certificate or something. No, she's too lazy, too. She's very lazy. Oh, she did. Oh, is the couples channel still there? Is the couples channel still there? Are they trying to not show the government? Because he's not been around lately. Like, he's not been around. Oh, God. I know. And that's why I always have to be very cautious with how I present myself at live streams. Because obviously at some point, I need to become a professional and work with patients. So I need to be very cautious. And probably around that time, my channel would probably change drastically. So, I always want to be cautious with how I talk about people, even Tim, because obviously I am a professional you know, but I hope that at least I maintain some professionalism. I try not to use a lot of bad language and stuff. It's but you know, and I think I'm not a bad language. I mean, that's a lie. My friends will tell you I cuss and blind, like terrible in my personal life. But when I'm in my professional settings, I know not to use that language, you see? All right, Chantel, finish this out. We need to check her couples channel. Is couples channel still there? Wow. I wonder why that was. Something is going on. That is fascinating. There is, hey, Pixie Dragon. Oh, that screenshot, no, Pixie. She's very unhappy. She's so unhappy, Pixie Dragon. This is a very unhappy person with a lot on her mind. And she's taking it out on that Wendy's. And she hasn't told us anything. She's going to, stick to her guns that she's going to give zero information as she does this. But she tells a lot more than she realizes that she's telling. All right. Let's get this done. Let people get on with their Saturdays. I'm angry. I hate the world.
Oh.
Actually, I hope she live streams soon because I want to see how engaging she is with her audience now. Who is going to tolerate this? Oh, no, the husband's name is Salah, but it ended up being called Salad because when people were trying to type it into text, it would just autocorrect and it kind of stuck. But his name is actually Salah. It's just, and now, of course, you don't even know Robert Perry about this gentleman. He's got some fetishes that we found out about at Christmas that involve, not great stuff. So she's wild. They're all wild. And we know too much about these people. Look at her. This is not even her face, okay? This is not Chantel's face. I don't know how many times. This is filtered to the max. She looks like she's got very puffy under the eyes here, though. Julia's just staring out the window. That 100K plaque she's so proud of. That's still not even hung anywhere. It's just propped up on the sofa. Says more than you think.
Tears.
She's got to keep this persona, the mad, not going to talk about anything persona.
Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. That's my lunch. I ate that pretty fast because I was like so hungry and it was really good.
You ate it 1,000 times, Chantel.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Oh my goodness, Chantel. Dang. She is really angry. Yeah, it's boop. I know. It's Bert says she told Salah doesn't let her order fast food, so maybe Wendy's was his missing in action, means he's missing in action. The wedding ring is still on, though. I don't know if they're having to do it for something in Kuwait that they can't show that they've been together. Because obviously if it were for immigration purposes for Canada, you would want to have all that TikTok stuff because you would want to show that you guys have been having this relationship. So it makes me wonder it does make me wonder, or did whatever happened in the office, he found out and now he's out, like he knows he's not getting to Canada. And now he's like, then why am I sticking with this? But she still has a wedding ring on. So who knows? Who knows? She's threatening him. Thank you. Yeah. It feels like she's trying, but I guess getting more views on her channel is going to help increase her. She's got her Wendy's to get back in the financial loop. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's getting way more views on this newer content than she got on the stuff from before. Like, way more views. Like, far more views. Far more. Far more. Going out for a walk. Well, listen. Oh, well, I'm finishing up now because we did the video. We've been over here for over 2 hours, and I'm going to let everyone get back to their Saturday. Just wanted to let people know I have not forgotten about Chantel. I was going to come back for this. And actually, next week, I am going to do the same challenge that I did for Tim, but for Chantel. So I am going to respond to every one of her videos. Like I said, her lives, as she does them, I will probably try to do live afterwards, just because they'll be long. So I just want to knock them out of the way. And then the videos, if it's just mukbangs I get, then just be, mukbang reactions. But I am going to try to delve back into her because I've never really done that before. Well, I've really reacted to everything she did because there's so many reaction channels and I don't want to bore people with my opinion. So, I try to, not do it all, in the reason of being brief with stuff, or not flooding YouTube with it, or subscribers or people who watch, But I think next week I am, because she's got very interesting with this going on for me. And it's, it's part of her cycle, but it's just not healthy to watch. It's not healthy. And I forgot to put the poll out. I'm so sorry, Just Amy. She gave me a poll and I totally forgot about it. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I did want to make sure I thanked everybody because I got so many new members today. So I have got to update my member shout outs before I post my Tim video. Because I definitely need to update it. I wanted to thank Miss Pam for becoming a member. Miss Anastasia, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Miss Pony Upify, thank you. Dan gifted a membership. Thank you, Dan. And Dan is also a member, so thank you. Fatma became a member and joined us today. Miss Kathy Brown came over and joined us. We appreciate that. As well as Barium Exposure, who's come over from the Timoverse. So if you haven't checked out my content about Tim, Tim is wild too. And then I want to thank Super Chats from Mrs. Muerta and from Sam Tyre. Sam, I hope you do start feeling better. I know you said you weren't feeling well. And for all of you who aren't, feeling great, I hope everyone feels better today. I understand more than you think. I do hope everyone who does get a chance gets the chance to get outside, get a walk, touch some grass. I promise you, I have to get out and touch grass. I will be taking my dog for a walk before I watch Tim's crying video. I got a 65-year-old man crying in his morning chat, supposedly. I need to find out what he is crying about. Oh my God. It's probably haters. He's pretty upset with us all. So yeah. But I thank you all for being here. It was such a wonderful live. I am, like, as people were so many people are like, Sir Austin, they're all like, are you done with Chantel? Are you done with Chantel? No, I'm just trying to think about how I'm approaching Chantel now, especially with me going back to school. I'm definitely trying to think how I monitor and watch what I say about her, because a lot of her issues are mental health. And so I definitely want to make sure that people know I don't treat, I don't diagnose, I'm just speculating. I have no idea. I can only see what I'm kind of seeing and sensing, but there's so many things that you have to do and this is why nobody's ever been able to really get a diagnosis probably on Chantel. And she's never gone through enough of the steps to get the diagnosis that she needs. And she doesn't want the help. She needs to want the help, and she doesn't want it. She wants to actually come in. Are you going to Wendy's, Robert? Well, you enjoy that Frosty. Hey, Chantel, someone's going to be joining you with your mukbang. You enjoy that Wendy's, Robert. Make sure you wash your hands. Well, I love you being part of my channel, Claudette. I know you've been enjoying the Timiverse. And Ross says, it's funny how Sarasota Tim and the Girl World universe have collided. I know. I brought Tim into Girl World. Because he's an official girly. He acts just as wild as the girls do. So I know he was like an RV camper, but in reality, that's just a persona. He belongs in Girl World. She needs in-hospital treatment. Oh, she absolutely does. And we know she's never going to take it, Sam. She needs a whole team of people around her. I mean, she needs so many resources. Does any nation want to put that much into her? Unfortunately, Canada would have to. So, and I don't know how much success she would have. She's getting older and more set in her ways. She should have been addressing any of these issues years ago. Absolutely years ago. Kathy's on holiday in Spain. Oh my goodness. That sounds wonderful. And you know what? I'd live right next to the beach. I could be out walking along the beach too. It's Hades out here in Virginia Beach. But I've got Tim to finish out. So we're just going to go walk in the woods real fast and then come over and finish out Tim. So yeah. When are you going to post on Tim? I'm going to post on Tim. I'm going to go grab a walk. I'm going to grab something to eat, and then I'm going to post on Tim. So I'm going to sit down for the rest of the night and just knock Tim out. I don't know what's going on with Tim today. So I got to find out. But I did want to get in here. Yeah. Oh, congrats, Tim. Forgot about trying to fit those golf buddies. Oh, God. The golfing was appalling. He's a terrible golfer. Oh, Bella's back. Hey, you're just getting off work. Oh, your last 2 weeks. Oh, my goodness, girl. I know they're going to miss you at Vanderbilt. I know they're going to miss you. They're going to miss you. They're going to throw you a big party. Well, we're finishing up, but catch us on the replay. We're just talking about the fact that YouTube is potentially cracking down on mukbang channels. So if she keeps throwing out this content like that and keeps naming it mukbangs and does all that orgasmic eating that she's doing, she could get demonetized. She could still have her channel, but you won't be making any money off it, girl. So I would, I wonder. Culture Love says, thank you, Raid, everybody. I'll replay for Tim. Oh, yeah. Come back and replay for Tim. Yeah, we missed you, Bella, but we know you have to work, girl. Timmy was welling up 3/4 of the... Oh, my God. I need to find out what he's crying about. Is Miss Tammy not coming to town? I don't know. It's going to be I can't wait to find out. Rebecca says, I enjoy Barium's work, too. If you have not checked out his channel, please do. There's a bunch of really good... It's a whole funny world over there, too. But they understand I'm doing a challenge this week that I am not going to always, not that I'm not going to do Tim, but I'm just going to do, next week I have a different challenge. So I probably do a Tim live stream on Monday, rounding things up. And then I'm going to do some different things. But don't worry, Tim is never going to be forgotten. He is fully on board over here. And I have so many other people to get to too. Yeah, his new friend. Oh no. I was going to ask if it's something about the friend. Oh, I was going to ask something about, he was so bossy with that guy yesterday. He was so bossy and controlling. I'm wondering, she finally dumped him. We don't know. Miss Tammy due out. Miss Tammy is due out. That's what he's telling us. End of June. Not a specific date, but it's getting closer. But yeah, I keep saying end of June. So yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you in Tim World. Yes, I have to. I gotta change. No, I can actually keep on the same outfit, probably. This is a different video. I kind of. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No, don't worry. Anna, I hear, is complaining about luxury cruises. And of course, she can't do anything about her weight because of the lipedema. These girls and guys are wow. They are probably my 3 favorites, to be honest. I don't mind Alexandra Rodriguez, but her content is like, the vlogs. She's so like tries to put out one, and she's I feel like she's more hidden, more overt, or covert, I should say. And Anna is just out there with her stuff. Obviously, Foodie, and Tim. Tim's crying. Later, guys. Bye. I know free luxury cruises are so bloody awful. Nothing more difficult for one to have to do than take a luxury cruise. Yeah. Well, if you did like this type of content, you can always follow the links and join the community. I already mentioned those who did. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you do want to check out my coffee description down below and help out a grad student, I'm always happy to come out here and do this.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
And I don't mind saying that I do that. At least I own up to it, There's not, oh, look at that. Look at that. And I didn't even know it was going to pop it in. Obviously, Nightbot just doing their job. Thank you, Nightbot. But if you do want to show support, do the buy me a coffee. It really does help. I promise you. That one is actually, Tim got onto something. And I have to say that my therapist that I had, and when I used to tell her about doing my YouTube channel and starting it and how much I enjoyed kind of doing this, she used to always say, you need to do a buy me a coffee. I used to say, nah. And then, so Tim persuaded me. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what we got with Chantel at the moment. But yeah, look out, because like I said, next week she did a Wendy's as well. Oh, yeah, don't let Judge Mathis come for you. God, he will be hauling me up in court because I'm a dry begging fool. Hungry Fat Chick just posted and she did a Wendy's as well. Chantel, you need to be original. Stop trying to steal the content from the other Hungry Fat Chick. Stop it. Thank you, Nightbot. I know, Nightbot, I don't know. I need to figure out what about the speech marks on Nightbot. Okay, guys, let me bring up my branding. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out a time for the members only live stream to go over. Probably we'd maybe look at the other mukbang she did, or a raid. Probably that one. We'd do that. It would be like a retro react. And then I'm obviously going to do some members only exclusive video content. I got all sorts of stuff planned. So while I'm healing in the house still and not being outside because I can't put any sunscreen on my nose. So I'm very, I have to get the hat on, and I get very concerned if I can't get sunscreen on the nose with this sun, that I'm kind of stuck indoors a little bit while everybody else is out enjoying the beautiful weather here in Virginia Beach. So yeah, it's just, I guess, got to get better. That's what it is. Okay, guys. All right, let me get my branding out. I'm just chit-chatting away. I did want to thank everybody. I'm going to be adding lots of new names to this group here for showing me such wonderful support. It's going to be bigger now. I'm either going to do more screens. I think more screens. And just wanted to thank everybody for that. That's just very, very helpful. Thank you, guys. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, please do. We do appreciate that support. Gets me up the algorithm. Free way to say, we kind of like you. And we appreciate it. All right, guys. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. I'm so glad I was able. Thank you for everybody who joined me today. I really enjoyed seeing everybody. And for such wonderful support. I love coming out on Saturdays. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye.